The different production method will yield in slightly different compositions in alcohol-free beers. The different flavor is not about specific molecules that are missing, it is more about the different ratios and matrix effects. Ethanol is an important flavor carrier. It influences solubility, release, and how aromas integrate and interact. It adds a lot to mouthfeel and complexity. The lower the alcohol content is, the more bitterness stands out and tastes different. The balance between bitter and sweet is different, and when we talk about de-alcoholized beers, the sweetness is often missing, which makes the bitterness stand out even more intense. Also, unpleasant flavors like wurty or bread-like flavors are noticeable. But if you know your yeasts and hops well enough, these are all sensory challenges that you can manage. It starts with the mashing regime. If you understand your mashing process, you can suppress the production of fermentable sugars in your wort so that your gravity is lower and the theoretical amount of alcohol that can be produced is lower as well. And then it is up to the yeast that you are choosing. A lot of new yeast strains have come to the market the last couple of years, giving brewers the option to work with a lot of different flavor properties. For decades, a lot of brewers have worked with stopped fermentation. However, that gives you a lot of these wurty flavors that you try to avoid. If you are working with maltose negative yeast, you have a lot of good flavor options. Maltose negative means that these yeasts are not able to consume maltose, so they have to work with single sugars, which are present only in small concentrations. These yeasts produce a very nice aroma and also very nice flavors that help with the mouthfeel, and that is the same that hop does, so they are the perfect partners. However, to have a robust microbiological QM system in place from mashing into bottling is key, as the risk of contamination is higher. Dry hopping is the answer to the flavor loss in alcohol-free beers because hops fill in on the mouthfeel gap and adds hundreds of aroma molecules. So even in lager-style alcohol-free beer, hops can help and use to add some flavor and mouthfeel. That can also only be done on the hot side in the whirlpool. We have very good results with a combination of whirlpool and dry hopping in alcohol-free beers. If you use hops on the cold side in alcohol-free beers, it is important to work with liquid extracts because they contain highly concentrated flavor and aroma, but they don't bring the hazard of hop creep as the relevant enzymes are deactivated. A good ratio for a hop-forward alcohol-free beer is 1/3 in the whirlpool and 2/3 for dry hopping at the end of fermentation or in the lagering tank, or a combination of this. With Prisma, we also have the possibility to add more hop flavor directly into the finished beer. In general, regulatory aspects of all kinds of beers are very complex and very different throughout the different countries. In alcohol-free beer, the definition of what means alcohol-free varies quite a lot. Often 0.5 is the accepted amount of alcohol by volume in many countries, but there are a lot of exemptions from country to country. This affects labeling, exports, and also consumer expectations. A lot of consumers assume that alcohol-free actually means 0.0% alcohol, and driven by this consumer expectation, a lot of breweries commit to this very challenging demand and produce beer with really zero alcohol, although a lot of other beverages as orange juice, apple juice, or any kind of beverage with enough fermentable sugars may contain a small amount of alcohol. In beer with alcohol, we have a couple of parameters that give us security. It's the alcohol content, it is the hop acid, it is the CO2 content, and the sugars are mostly depleted. In alcohol-free beer, the ethanol is missing and we have more nutrients available for the growth of all kinds of bacteria or wild yeast. A key parameter here is the pH value that needs to be controlled and needs to be as low as possible without interfering with the flavor. There are various options to influence the pH value. Wort acidification is very powerful. But it is not only the pH value, you need to implement a robust process hygiene, strict process control, effective stabilization, and a thoughtful product design. Bacteria and wild yeast have impressive survival strategies and ways to grow. It is real and scary science fiction how life finds a way to exist. To quote one of the experts, Dr. Scott Britton, alcohol-free beer should be treated as a microbiological microbiologically sensitive product requiring vigilance and validation at every stage from formulation to dispense.